Hello, I think I'm on. I don't know. YouTube acting up today, so you never can be quite sure. But we're going to attempt this anyway. Tabby by my side, and we're going to defy the YouTube demons and see if we can't get this thing done. I was asked when I had the discussion on Monday. I was asked by one of the people in there if I could get back to 1962 and specifically do a Pirates game. So I told him, sure, no problem whatsoever. So here we are. We're at opening day in Pittsburgh, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Pittsburgh Pirates from Forbes Field, super advanced. This game was played April the 10th, 1962. Pirates won the game real world 6-0 as Bob Friend pitched a complete game shutout. It's going to be Bob Friend against Jim Owen of the Phillies. And I admit, it's 1962, so I don't know a whole lot about these players. It was before I was born. I mean, some of the players, obviously, the larger names I've heard of, but some of the other ones I have not. So to get the ballpark effects, we come over here, and 1962, Pittsburgh, 1-10 for singles, lefties and righties, and 1-3 for lefties, 1-6 for righties, home runs. If we were thinking about trying to rob home runs, there are two asterisks right here on each side that says anytime there's an asterisk on one of the sides, it means you cannot rob a home run from that particular side of the plate. And Pittsburgh has both, so nobody can rob a home run there. For instance, if you go up to Cincinnati, there's only one asterisk. And for people that ask about the home runs and whatnot, if you look over here on the where'd it go here? I just had it a second ago. Yeah, so that means you can't rob a home run if you're a right-handed hitter because they had that big wall in left field, but in right field you could. So that means lefties you could rob, but righties you could not. But here in Pittsburgh, you can't rob either one. So there you go. I went with my the original Strat Form B score sheet. I bought a I don't know what you call it. It's just it comes a pack, if you want to call it that. It's all in one bound pack. I think it's 200 sheets or something like that. I don't know, front and back. So I usually use this to bear down on my newer sheets that I use, but I decided why not use one of these sheets today since I'm going old school. I'm also going old school with the smaller dice without the numbers on them. So I'm trying to go as much old school as possible on this. One of the old school things that I'm not giving up is coffee. Hello, Joel. Yeah, Worldsworth. I tried 2 different times to set this stream up, and when I got ready to go live, it said the stream cannot be performed, and it asked me to either retry or whatever, or cancel or whatever. So I just got frustrated. So in a moment of frustration, I typed something I probably shouldn't have typed, but I was just mad. I didn't think this would get through, so I just figured I'd type it just for the heck of it, and it actually went through. So what do I know? So anyway, hello, Cosmo. Hello, Mr. Guterman. I apologize, Mr. Guterman, for my title of the video because I got frustrated when I tried twice to get through and start this thing, and YouTube giving me trouble. So in a fit of frustration, I probably typed something that I shouldn't have, but hey, you know. But in honor of you, Mr. Jeff, I'm going old school and using the Form B and scoring it, trying to follow your pattern as much as possible with how I want to score this thing. I did write the speed of the runners on the left-hand side, so that's the only thing I'd maybe do a little bit different from what you did. Hello, Rick. Good to see you. But Rod, I think his name was Roger Colton. When we had the discussion Monday night, he had asked about when I asked about what people wanted to see. They said he came out and said 1962, and he specifically said the Pirates. So I said, okay, not a problem. I can do that. And so this is the opening day game from 1962 for the Pirates. They hosted the Phillies, a quick 1-game series before they go to play the Mets in the Polo Grounds. But this is a quick thing here. The only thing I haven't done is the pitcher-catcher quotient. That's the one thing I have not done yet. So if we look at Jim Owens, and I'm not sure why Philadelphia started him, They must have thought he was going to do something, but if we look at his card on the basic side for Jim Owens, you can see he was 2-4 with a 6.33 earned run average and 12 starts. So I'm not sure why he got the start on opening day, but he did. He's a -1 hold. Clay Dalrymple, the catcher, is a -1 arm, so he is a -2 on the pitcher-catcher quotient. If you look at Pittsburgh, Bob Friend was 18-14 with a 306 earned run average. He has a -1 hold for him. Smokey Burgess is a +1, so he will be just a 0, be completely even. So nothing going on there. So anyway, this one's for Roger Colton. He's the one that asked me about that. And not that I'm a DJ that takes requests, but like they did in the old days. But hey, somebody asked me, I'll definitely get into it because I enjoy Strat-O-Matic. I don't care what season it is or what game it is. I just like the process of playing. So if that will also help someone else and show something they'd like to see, then all the more power to me. Tabby was in here, but she has since left. She might be back. You never know. So let's get this ball game going. Bob Friend finishing up the warm-up tosses. And again, for those that came in late, this is at Forbes Field, where singles are 1 to 10 for lefties and righties, and home runs 1 to 3 lefties, 1 to 6 righties. This game was played April the 10th, 1962. And I admit, a lot of these players for Philadelphia especially, I don't know. I do know Tony Taylor. I've heard of him. So Tony Taylor, not to be confused with Tony the Tiger from Frosted Flakes, but I do know Tony Taylor. I've heard that name before. He did play some in the 70s, so I think his career kind of extended into the early 70s, so I do kind of know him. So we are just about ready to get going. Taylor, a righty. Friend, a righty. Got our old school small Strat-O-Matic dice. Make sure everything is in play. Looks like everything is. Hopefully you guys can see everything all right. And we're underway. We get a 5-7. Bob Friend, that's a ground ball second base sec. So right off the bat, we get an X check. How about that? And it's Bill Mazeroski. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. We're just looking for the E14. So if you look at the E14 for a second baseman, E14, 15, 16, 3, and 18. We know that those are the 3 numbers he has to avoid. If you look under 14, 15, 16, 3, and 18. Those are the numbers he has to avoid on these 3D6s. And that is a 15. So we just said he had to avoid the 15. However, he did not. So the dice came up bad for Mr. Mazeroski, and he just boots it. So E4. And right off the bat, we get an error on the very first play. How about that? From a guy who shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame to begin with, but he is. But he's in there because of his fielding, not because of his offense. Although I think if he didn't hit the home run in the 60 World Series, he would not have been in there. That's probably got him in there. That one thing probably got him in there anyway. But you want to talk about guys that shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. There's quite a few of them that should not back in the 60s that got in just good old boy network, I guess. But they happen. All right, so Taylor is an 8. He's a 4 through 6 to get the lead. He's a 4, 5, or a 6 to obtain the lead. And again, Friend is a 0. We put the catcher with Burgess. Friend, it's a 0. So if he does get the lead, only subtract the -2 for being held, be a 1 to 14. But he's got to get a 4 through 6 first. He does not, so he will hold. That brings up right fielder Johnny Callison. We get a 2-9 for Callison, and that is a strikeout. I forgot to roll the havoc roll, so no problem. It didn't matter then. If that had come up a 1 or a 2, I would have treated it as a havoc roll and re-rolled the whole thing. But normally I do it separately. So now here's Tony Gonzalez, center fielder. Nothing on the havoc roll that time. That's a 3-3 for Gonzalez against a right-hander. That's a ballpark blast right there, 3-3. But the ballpark blast is only a 3, and that's an 11. So just a deep fly to right field that Clemente runs down. And by the way, Clemente is a -6 arm. You don't see that very often in Strat-O-Matic, but he was honored with the -6 arm, and rightfully so. Never saw him play live, but I certainly saw the highlights and could see what he could do. So here's Roy Sievers, first baseman. Don't know much about him. 6-6 is a strikeout for Bob Friend. That's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Phillies. And again, the Pirates won this game real world 6-0. So the Phillies are done, and that's going to take us to Jim Owens. I know absolutely nothing about Jim Owens. The only thing I think of when I see Jim Owens is Buck Owens, but Roy Clark's not around, so, and neither are the Buckaroos. So we just have to deal with Jim Owens. He is a right-hander, and leading off will be Bill Verdon. We get a 6-11. That's a ground ball pitcher X. He is a 5. He's an E0, but he's a 5, so it's going to be trouble whether he can get to it or not. I mean, it won't be an error problem. It'll be a range problem. So he is a 5. So if we look at the 5 on the pitcher, it goes to 6. So if we get anything above a 7 on the D20, he'll make the play. And we do. So Double Die cooperated that time. So Verdon is out 1-3 for 1 down. So Roy Sievers play with the Senators. Okay. Like I said, one of the reasons why I got this 62 set, I enjoyed watching Mr. Goodman play his replay with that. And I wanted to learn. That's why I got the 24 set and the 62 set, was to, not just because I think they might be fun, but I wanted to learn about the players, both modern and the old. 76 I got because I was like 76, but one of the reasons why I got 62 was to learn about some of these older players. So here's Dick Grote, the shortstop. 4-3, and that's a fly ball right field X. So we're getting these X chances all over the place. Callison's a 3-E-8 in right field. 3-E-8. 3-19, he will get to that, no questions asked, when you get a high number like that. That's a 12. So E8 and a 12 for a right fielder. There is 6, 15, 17, 3, 18, and 16, but no 12. So that, or no 11 rather. So E8, and there is no 11. So Dick Grote will fly to right field. And there's 2 away for Bob Skinner. Don't know anything about Bob Skinner either. I don't know if he's a father of Joel Skinner that I'm playing in my 87 replay for the Yankees or not. Could be. Sometimes these baseball families keep going, you know. That's a 6-9. He's lefty. Ground ball shortstop X. So all 3 plays are X chances in this game. 1 to the pitcher, 1 to the outfielder, and 1 to the infielder. So we're hitting all 3 super advanced charts in the bottom of the first inning. Shortstop for the Phillies is Amaro. I'm assuming that's Ruben Amaro. Let me double check his name here. Yeah, Ruben Amaro. Ruben Amaro is a 2E28 at shortstop. 2E28. 2-19, he will get to that. So now the E28 at a shortstop is right here. He's got to avoid 6, 15, 16, 17, and 18. That's a 9, so it's good play. So 3 X chances, 3 successful X chances. And there you go. Phillies had more X chances than Elizabeth Taylor on that one. But they survived all 3, and we go to the second. No score. Oh, he is the father of Joel Skinner. Thank you. All right. I thought he was, but you never know. You never know. And for those that missed the Monday night chat, it kind of went a different direction than what I was planning. Obviously, I invited RJL in there, and he kind of took over. But he did get his 1,000 subscribers, which was a good thing. So let him talk about inside pitch. He's very passionate about that. So maybe people that hadn't seen him before or knew about him got exposed to him. So that's always good if I can give exposure to somebody else. That'll be nice. So I'll come back and do one of my own later on. I'm actually kind of glad it came on because when I got there, I was like, okay, what do I talk about? But I may make that a Monday tradition. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to do that after one time, but we'll see how it goes. I might try it next Monday and on my own do a solo thing and see what happens. Maybe I'll have a topic or something to talk about. I don't know. but I prefer to be doing this, not talking. All right, so Wes Covington, left fielder. He's a terrible fielder. 5+3 arm and an E15. Kind of hard to get worse than that. 3.9, and he is a strikeout victim. Strikeout number 3 for Bob Friend. And here's Don. I think it's Demeter or it's Demeter, but I think it's Demeter, like a meter reader in parking. I think it's Demeter. I remember him playing for the Indians and the Red Sox later on in '67, but I don't know if that's how it's pronounced or not. All right. Oh, we got even the small dice hop out. How does that happen? 4-9, and against a right-hander, that's an in-home run chance against Bob Friend, 1-5, but the 17 there means it's just going to be a double for Demeter. Double for Demeter. And we got a runner on second base. First runner in scoring position for the Phillies. Clay Dalrymple is your batter. And Dalrymple is the catcher. He's a left-handed hitter. Demeter not being held on second base. We get a 6-12, and that's a ground ball first base X. We are looking at Hands of or Dr. Strangeglove, I think they called him, Dick Stewart. 5E28 at first base, and we got an X chance to first base. So this ought to be fun. X chance to first base, and he is a 5. So it's got to at least be a 9 for him to even get to this. It's an 18, so he does get to it. It's going to be a fielder's choice if he does not make an error. That's a 7. He's an E28. Wow, way down here. And the 7 is right there, first number under the E28. So Dr. Strangeglove will boot it. That's the second Pirate error of the inning. E3 puts runners on the corners with 1 out for Ruben Amaro. So I was thinking the Pirates had decent fielding, but so it's Chuck, does that mean it's Demeter? Because the MEH, I'm thinking meh. So you're saying it's Demeter, not Demeter. Like it was pleasure to have met her. Demeter. If that's the way it's pronounced, I'll go with it. I don't know. I'm asking. I guess I could go to Baseball Reference and have them try to tell me what it is, but did I break the internet? Well, the YouTube is screwing me up, ID. I tried to start the stream twice and it told me it couldn't do it. So I just got fed up and put a title in there I shouldn't have, thinking it wouldn't go through, and then lo and behold, it went through. So I'll change the title when it's done, but I'm still a little ticked off about it. All right, here's Ruben Amaro, the shortstop. Infield playing for the double play with 1 out. Friend could use a strikeout right about now. That would be his friend to get a strikeout. We get a 6-7, and that's exactly what he gets as a strikeout. Strikeout number 4 for Mr. Bob Friend. And of course, the one thing I forgot to bring out. Oh, Tabby is here. She snuck in here and I didn't even hear her. She snuck in here, but she's not on the perch. She's on a blanket behind me. So one thing I forgot to do was bring in the pitcher hitting cards. So let's do that because Jim Owen is using pitcher hitting card number 2 on his card. Bob Friend uses pitcher hitting card number 1 so they can share the same card. But I did forget to bring that out, so let me do that now. So no, Jeff, it just said it came up with a message and it gave me like a cloud with a strike through it and said, can't do stream right now. Do you want to cancel or retry? And I hit both of them and neither one of them seemed to work. Well, the retry was the second one I did. That's why you might have got 2 notifications because that was my retry. And then when that didn't work, I just hit cancel, closed YouTube, came back onto YouTube, and that's when I got frustrated and did my little thing there. So I'm not sure why it did that. I have no clue. All right, so Owens, and he is a right-handed hitter, using pitcher hitting card 2 right-handed, 2 WR. So Bob Friend, with 2 outs and runners on the corners, just has to get Mr. Owens out. That's a 1-5. That shouldn't be a problem. Struck him out too. That's strikeout number 5, and that's going to end the inning. So Bob Friend gets out of it, striking out Amaro and Owens to end the inning. I agree, Cosmo. They're not making it user friendly very much anymore. But what else are we going to do? It's at least we have this avenue, so I'm thankful for the avenue. But yeah, it's not. Sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate. Is all I'll say. All right, here's Dr. Strangeglove, Dick Stewart. Hey, Bob. Yeah. Well, I just hit, instead of hitting retry, I hit cancel and closed it and reopened it. I should have known that from the get-go, because I learned that. That's something I learned a long time ago, is the first piece of any kind of diagnosis is to either unplug something or reboot something. If it's electronic, reboot it. And that's what I should have done. I just didn't do it. But lesson learned. And here's Dr. Strangeglove, Dick Stewart. I assume he's a good hitter, because he certainly couldn't field. Couldn't hit either. 228. Did hit 6 home runs, but 228 is not very good. 610, and that's another X. So all 4 at bats have been X chances on Jim Owens' card. This one again is a shortstop X, and again that is Amaro. He's a 2E28, so he needs basically just, as long as he rolls a 3 or higher on the D20, he'll be all right. He does, so don't have to worry about that. That is a 5. Oh, we get a rare play. I get to use my rare play thing. How about that? We got a 5. So the 10, and I am going to use the rare play, my what do you call it? My beta version of a rare play. So 10 is a G1. So it would have been a rare play on this chart. Nothing going on that. But let's go to my, if I can find it. I hope I have it handy. Sometimes I have this stuff and don't have it handy like I should, because I didn't plan on using it. Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to go to my beta version, and now get to see it in play, in use, to see if it makes sense or not. All right, so we're looking at a G1, and it says if run on first, batter hits double play grounder, the second shortstop, no run on first, ground out. Okay, so there really wasn't much going on there, because you had to have somebody on base for something to happen. So pretty much was ended up the same as the Strat-O-Matic one. It's just a ground out, 6-3. Probably need to make something a little more interesting on that G1. So that tells me there I need to redo G1, because I need to have something a little more dramatic than that. All right, here is Roberto Clemente, 6'11", and another X chance. That's the 5th. All 5 at bats have been X chances, and we know Owens is a 5E0, so he can't make an error. But we need to check the 5. He needs a 7 or higher on the D20 to make the play, and 18 he will make the play. So, but that's got to be a record for me. 5 at bats, 5 X chances. I don't know if that's happened to anybody else before, but that's just something else. All those X chances on his card. Incredible. Yeah, I know nothing about, I know something about Patreon, but it's just not something that's for me. I don't want to start doing that. I'd rather do it here where it's free and open, but hopefully YouTube will behave. All right, we're going to see if we can get something besides an X chance this time. And what that basically means is that all the 5 rolls have come off the pitcher card. We have not had a roll come off the batter card yet for the Pirates. They've had 5 rolls. They've all come off the pitcher card. Whoop, and we got hopping dice again. I don't know how these little dice are hopping all over the place. This time we're off the batter card, 2-7. There will be no X chance. Ground ball to first, and Dr. Strangeglove will make the play unassisted. And that's going to do it. So nothing across for the Pirates. We will go to the top of the 3rd, no score. Friend to back out, and he'll face the top of the order, Taylor, Callison, and Gonzalez. And if you guys like 62, I mean, I don't want to step on Jeff's toes because I know he's doing the replay in 62, but if you guys like seeing me play older seasons, I'll be more than happy to do it. I've got some older seasons. I've got 41, I've got 47, I've got 1920, I've got 61, I've got 55. I mean, I can do it if you want me to do it, but you know, not for replay purposes because I already got my 87 in my demolition league. But I mean, it's just for variety's sake, I could do it if somebody really wanted it. All right, 1-5 for Tony Taylor. That's a split chance. 1 to 5 is a triple. That's a 15. So Taylor will get a leadoff single, and he will try to get the lead again. He needs a 4, 5, or a 6 to get the lead. That's an 8. He does not get the lead, so he will hold. And here's Johnny Callison, right fielder. 2-5, and that's a single 2 stars for Callison. So they're getting to Friend. Runners on the corners and nobody out. Wow. Friend pitched a shutout, but he's in trouble right now in the third. See if Callison can get a lead. Needs a 6. And nothing going on there. So the infield's back for the double play. They need outs. Here's Tony Gonzalez. 6-5, and that's a ground ball second base A. That's a 4-6-3 double play for 2 quick outs. The run does score to make it 1-0 Phillies, but the double play gets 2 quick outs and minimizes the damage, you know, for what the Pirates hope is just 1 run. Here's Severs. 2-4 for Severs. He's going to ground to second. That's going to end the inning. But the Phillies do get a run, and we go to the bottom of the third. It's now 1-0 Phillies. All right. All right, so here's Bill Mazeroski. Bill Mazeroski. I'm sorry, it should be Don Hoke. What is he doing up here? Don Hoke fell in behind Burgess by mistake. But it is Don Hoke, Mazeroski, and Friend. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to look at the roster sheet and see if they have special run ratings for the pitcher. That's something I did forget to do. So we'll go to the National League roster sheet and look on this far right-hand side. It will tell us if anybody, like Friend, has a run rating of 12. So he's not the typical 10. He is a 12. Oops. Owens of Philadelphia. He actually has a chance to get leads. Interesting, but he's a 1 to 10. So I'm not going to steal with Owens, obviously, but it's kind of interesting that it gave that information. So Don Hoke will lead off. Every time I think of Don Hoke, I think of Don Ho. 1-5, and that is a 1-4 triple, but the double dies a 13, so it's just a deep fly to left. 1 down for Bill Mazeroski. Mazeroski hit 271 on the 62 season. 1-12, and that's a split chance. 1 to 18 is going to be a single, so that's the first hit for the Pirates is a Mazeroski single, and that will allow Friend to bunt. If we look at Friend's bunt rating, he is an A bunter. So with the corners in for the Phillies, he will become a B bunter. And we go to our chart for the bunting and pull that out. As a B bunter. First roll havoc. Make sure there's no wild pitch or anything. Nope. White die will tell us who fields it. 2 is the pitcher. So it's going right back to Owens. He's a B bunter with the corners in. So basically needs a 9 or less to have a good bunt. That's a 7. That's a good sacrifice. So the sacrifice will go 1-4 with Tony Taylor covering first because the first baseman was charging. And that will send Mazeroski to second base. So with 2 outs, he's in scoring position for Bill Verdon in a clutch situation. Bill Verdon grounded back to Owens his first time up. To 5-5, left-handed, in home run chance 1-5. The Devil dies a 3, but Bill Verdon has weak power. I don't know if you can see it on here, but he's got weak power against both righties and lefties. He's got a W there. So it won't be a home run, but it will be a single 2 stars. Any failed home run on a power check is an automatic 2 stars when you get the base, when you fall in the home run category. It's not 1 star, it's 2 stars. So it is an RBI single from Bill Verdon, and we have tied this ball game. Verdon is not going to try to steal. Look at that. Bill Verdon stole 5 bases in 1962, but got caught 13 times. How was that? How does he do that? How do you keep trying when you get caught that much? I don't know. Anyway, here's Dick Grote. 6'9", right-handed. Ground ball to another X chance. We're going back to Ruben Amaro. He's a 2E28. Gets a good D20 rolling turn 2. Gets a 6. That's not very good. That might be a fielder's choice. I doubt it's going to be a double play. 2 and a 6 is going to be a G2 pound, but they're not holding the runner on, so the pound is not in play. And let's see here. So he is a 2E28 at shortstop. So it's going to be a G2 if he can make the play. E28. And that is an 8. There is no 8 there, so it will be a fielder's choice. They'll get the force. 6-4 force on Verdon. And Grote will be the new runner at first base with 2 down. And now here's Bob Skinner. 1-9, and he's going to fly to right field to end the inning. But at the end of 3, we're tied at 1 apiece. Go to the top of the 4th. And by the way, Owens, I guess, I don't know what the deal with him was, but he's got a fatigue rating of 4. So next inning will be his fatigue factor. Friend can go 8 innings before he gets fatigued. But we'll keep an eye on Owens being possibly fatigued. So after the 4th inning, when it comes to the 5th inning, they may pinch hit for him. We'll have to wait and see. Here's Covington. Struck out his first chance. 6-6, and that's going to be a strikeout here. He strikes out again. Strikeout number 6 for Bob Friend. And here comes Don Demeter. That's what I was told it's pronounced, is Demeter. 6-5, and no matter how he pronounces it, he flies to left. That's 2 down for Clay Dalrymple. 1-5 for Dalrymple was a solid single, 2-out single. He is no threat to run. Stole 1 base, got caught 3 times, so he will hold. And here's Ruben Amaro. 1-5, and he will walk. That will put 2 on, and it will clear the pitcher. The pitcher, Owen, will now get to bat using pitcher hitting card number 1. But even if he makes an out, you get to have your leadoff man lead off the 5th. So flip it around and use pitcher hitting card number 1. I'm sorry, he uses number 2. My bad. His friend who uses 1. So number 2. Not that there's that much difference between 1 and 2. But first and second, 2 outs. We get a 3-10, and that's a ground ball to short, and that will end the inning. So nothing going on there. We go to the 4th, still tied at 1 apiece. And this is the fatigue inning for Owen, so we have to keep a sharp eye on that. And Dr. Strangeglove, Dick Stewart, will lead off. 3-4, and that's going to be a 1 for a double. Anything else he flies to center, boy, that's a 2. He just missed it. So fly to center that Gonzalez puts away, 1 down for Roberto Clemente. Clemente in 62, 312, 10 home runs. For him, obviously, I mean, that'd be a good year for anybody, but for him, it's kind of below his normal standards. So not necessarily the best year for Clemente. Don't know if he was hurt part of the year or what. 1-4 is a ground ball to third. Let's see. He does have an injury chance on his card. So he had 538 at bats, but normally he gets 600 at bats. So he must have been injured at least part of the time. So 1-4 is a ground ball to third, 2 down. for Smokey Burgess. 2-4, and that's a ballpark single check. It's a 1 to 10. That's a 17, so he's going to pop it up to first, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there. We go to the fifth. Jim Owens keeps full endurance because he gave up nothing, so he has his full endurance going for him. Friend will be facing the top of the order, Tony Taylor, Johnny Callison, and Gonzalez. All right, here is Mr. Taylor, 3-8, and that's a fly ball to center field. That's one away. Here comes Johnny Callison, 5-7, and that is a ground ball second base X. That's Mazeroski. He's a 1. We know he's going to get to it. E14, he did make an error in the first inning. Actually started the game off with an error. That's a 13. He is an E14, second base. E14, there's no 13, so he will make the play this time. 2 down. A lot of X chances on these cards, though. I've gone to the X chart quite a bit in this game. Here's Tony Gonzalez. Hello, lower, slower. Good to see you. I'm still, you're still Strat Delaware to me. I don't, just like Clee baseball fan is still Tribe fan to me. Old habits die hard. Here is Gonzalez, 112, and that's a base on balls. And Gonzalez needs a 4, 5, or a 6 to get the lead. Does not obtain it. He will hold. And here's Roy Sievers, first baseman. 6-4. Ground ball, another X chance. Ground ball third base. Third base X. That's Don Hoke. He's a 2E14 for Don Hoke. 2 and a 10. He will get to that. 2 and a 10 is a G1. And that is it's trouble. That could be 16, could be a trouble. E14 and a 16 for a third baseman. E14, there's a 2-base error right there on Don Hoke. That's the third error on the Pirates in this game. A 2-base error on Don Hoke. And that will put runners at second and third. Third error by the Pirates. And now second and third, 2 outs, clutch situation for Wes Covington. We get a 5-9 left-handed is another X chance. This one to short. That's going to be Grote, 3E38. That could be trouble too. 3 and 19, he'll get to it, but that E38 looks rough. We'll get a shortstop. E38 but the 10 might save him because you don't get many errors on 10s. E38, 13, 14, 16 of the errors. No error. So Bob Friend pitches around yet another error. Had 3 errors on the Pirates in 5 innings, but the 1 run the Phillies did get was earned. So it just makes Friend work a little harder. That's all. So Jim Owens, who fatigue is a 4, but he has full endurance because he gave up nothing at all in the 4th inning. So he's going to start out with Don Hoke, Bill Mazeroski, and Bob Friend. 4-6, and that's going to be a 1 to 12 double. That's a 10 leadoff double for Don Hoke. And maybe the Pirates can get something started. Here's Mazeroski. (5-9), and that is a ground ball shortstop A. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. So the ground ball A is going to keep Hoke right where he is. And Mazeroski unable to move up the runner. Here's Friend. With 1 out already, the guy's in scoring position. No use bunting. I think that's a waste to bunt. Might bunt into a double play. So they're going to go ahead and have him swing away. 110, and he strikes out, but it does keep the runner at second. Realistically, him getting to third wouldn't make that much difference anyway with 2 outs. Unless you're going to think there's a wild pitch coming or something. Here is Verdon. 1-4 for Burden. That's a clutch single, and we are in a clutch situation, so he's going to lose the single. That omega symbol there is a clutch. You can't see it that good on the thing there. You get a little close up there. That 1-4 is a clutch. That omega symbol is a clutch. That single goes away because Hoke was in scoring position with 2 outs. So that will turn into, I believe it turns into either a pop out or a line out. Not that it matters. What's called a pop out to second. And that's going to end the inning. So anti-clutch cost him on that one. And Owens still has a little bit of juice left in him. He is set to bat 4th next inning, or this inning. So if they get to that and they got runners on base, they will probably pinch hit for him. I did look in the box score of this game and pull out the guys who pinch hit in real world for the Phillies and relieved in real world. So I've got them up front to use first, just for the heck of it. So here's Don Demeter. 2-4. Oh, look at this. Don Demeter, a solid home run. No D20 needed. Big and bold. A 2-4 is a home run for Don Demeter. And the Phillies take a 2-1 lead. In real world, they were shut out 6-0 by Bob Friend. But Don Demeter, or Demeter, I want to, old habits die hard. I keep calling him Demeter. But if he's Demeter, I'll have to learn it. Adjust. Here's Clay Dalrymple. 6-5, and that's a ground ball to second. 1 away for Ruben Amaro. 3-2 for Amaro is a single. There's a clutch thing there, but that situation does not exist. So the single is good. And now I think we might just have Mr. Owens bunt. He's an A bunter. If we look at his bunt card, he is an A bunter. But there's already an out, but the runner's not in scoring position. If you get him in scoring position, then he can score on a base hit. So we're going to have him bunt. He'll be a B bunter because the infield is expecting it. So the corners are in. And the bunt is going to go back to the pitcher Friend. And if we look at the bunt chart, he's now a B bunter with the corners in. So he basically needs a 9 or less to have a good bunt. 4 is speed, so he's got a chance to beat this out. He's a 10 for his speed. So speed says roll 1 to 20 side die. If it falls within the running range, it's a single. So if we get a 1 to 10 on the D20, he's actually going to beat this bunt out. He does not, but it'll be a good sacrifice one way or the other. Sacrifice goes 1 to 4 with Mazeroski covering. 2 down, and Tony Taylor in a clutch situation is up to bat. In the clutch against right-handers, Tony Taylor will lose a hit on 1-3. Everywhere else, he is neutral. That's a 2-7, and he's going to walk. So the inning will continue. First and second now with 2 outs for Johnny Callison. And Callison will lose a hit on a 2-8 in the clutch, right there in the middle of the card. But it's a 5-8 instead. It's a fly ball to the left, and that's going to be handled by Skinner to end the inning. But the home run off the bat of Don Demeter gives the Phillies a 2-1 lead as we head to the top of or the bottom of the 6th, rather. Owens still got some juice left in him. We'll be facing Grote, Skinner, and Stewart. Heart of the order for the Pirates. Bottom of the 6th, 2-1 ball game. Hope you're having a great Wednesday, hump day, wherever you are. 2-8 for Grote is a fly to center, and that's 1 away. As Mr. Gonzalez will run that down. 1 down for Skinner. He's 0 for 2, 5-7. He'll draw a base on balls. And for Owens, that's his first walk of the game. Skinner can get a lead with a 7. But it's a 5. He cannot get the lead. So we go to Dick Stewart. We get a 2-11, and that is a ballpark single check. 1 to 10. That's a 5. Base hit, 1 star only. And first and second with only 1 out. And now Owens is on the verge of being fatigued. 1 more base runner, he will be fatigued. And so the bullpen is ready to go for the Phillies. They do have left-hander Chris Short. And they have, these are the three guys, the couple guys they used for sure were Balchin, who's a righty, and Short, who's a lefty. So let's see. It looks like the Pirates. Well, Smokey Burgess is a lefty, right behind Clemente. So Chris Short would come in if he does not get Clemente, but they're going to give him a chance to get Clemente. 3-9, and he does on a ground ball shortstop A. It's going to complete a double play and end the inning. How about that? And that's going to do it for Owens. They're going to go ahead and cap him right there. So Owens is going to pitch really well, go 6 innings, give up just the 1 run. Let's see how many hits he gave up. 1, 2, 3, 4, just 4 hits. He walked 1. And I think the only strikeout he got was Bob Friend, so he struck out 1 as well. So coming in will be Chris Short. He will be the new pitcher for the Phillies. Short is a 0 hold, so it's a -1. So Owens, compared to what he did in real world, that was a fantastic outing. So we go to the top of the 7th. Friend back out will be facing Gonzalez, Severs, and Covington. Top of the 7th. There will be a 7th inning stretch after the half inning, so for no other reason, it gives me an excuse to go down and refresh my coffee. All right, here is Mr. Gonzalez. 5-6, and that is a fly ball to center. There's a dot there, but we haven't reached his fatigue in him yet. So easily handled by Bill Verdon, 1 down. That will send up Roy Severs. 5-9, ground ball shortstop X. That will be Grote. He's a 3-E38. 3-0. Oh, the double die just showed up. 3-1. That's a base hit. Check for error. E38, and that is an 11. E38, nope, 13, 14, and 16 are the error chances, so it will be a base hit for Severs. He's on board. 1 will not be held, not very fast. 1 chance for a wild pitch. Friends' wild pitch rating's a 3. And no wild pitch, it's blocked by Burgess. Pitch to Covington, 5-6, left-handed, fly ball to center. Same role we had to start the inning. It's at 5-6, but the dot still does not come into play. Here's Demeter. He homered. Right now, he's the player of the game. A double and a home run, 2 for 3. 6-7, and this time he's going to strike out. Again, there's a dot there, but he's not tired. And for Friend, that is strikeout number 7. Keeps the score at a 2-1 ball game. And before we go to the 7th inning stretch, we'll see Chris Short in the game as a relief pitcher. He was 11-9, 3.42 ERA, 12 starts, 3 saves, so it kind of split time. But he did relieve in this game real world. So we're going to have him come in and pitch the bottom of the 8th, particularly because the first batter for the Pirates is a left-hander, Smokey Burgess. It's Burgess, Hoke, and Mazeroski due up for the Pirates. Surprising 2-1 ball game. Hey, Scott. Yeah, I'm glad as well. Like I said, I was uncharacteristically frustrated. And like I said, I'll change the title when the video's over. I was just frustrated. I didn't think it would even go through. I was just doing it as a joke. And then lo and behold, this is what happens. So we'll fix it. No problem. We'll fix it. All right, so we're at the 7th inning stretch here at Forbes Field with the Phillies with a surprising 2-1 lead, thanks in part to Don Demeter's home run in the 6th. That's what gave him the lead. Chris Short coming in to relieve Jim Owens, who pitched 6 solid innings, only allowing the 1 run. But it is time to refresh my coffee, which means it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Take me out to the ball game. Tabby's on her blanket just relaxing, so maybe she can listen to this too as well. And I'll be back in about 30 seconds or about a minute. About a minute. that's what I call perfect timing. Get right back in time from the 7th inning stretch. Hey, Tony, good to see you. Yep, 7th. We're finished the 7th inning stretch now, and we're going to start the bottom of the 7th. New pitcher Chris Short, a left-hander, is in after relieving starter Jim Owens, who went 6 innings. And Owens right now is in line to get the win if the bullpen can hold it. Smokey Burgess, he only faced left-handers 15% of the time, but he's a 328 hitter, and his card reflects that he can hit left-handers, so I'm not going to take him out. 310, and he draws a base on balls. So that's a good start for the Pirates. Get the lead runner on. Of course, he's not very fast, but get the lead runner on. Normally, I'd bunt here, but Hoke's a D-bunter, so we're not going to do that. That could be a disaster. So we're going to have him swing away and hope he doesn't hit into a double play. That's a 3-6 against the lefty, and he just hit into the double play. Right on cue. Ground ball, third base A. 5-4-3, double play. So Roger Colton, I'm doing this game because he asked. He's not here yet, but hopefully when he's watching later, hopefully the Pirates don't disappoint you because they're underperforming in this game compared to real world. Here's Mazeroski now with the bases cleared. 6-9, and that's a walk from Chris Short. He's going to walk another one. And now we'll get a pinch hitter for Bob Friend because they need offense. Now the Pirates did not use a pinch hitter in the first game because real world, because Friend pitched a complete games. But I did look at their game after that, and the guy they used as a pinch hitter was Howie Goss. I guess I would go with Goss versus Goss, and they used Roy Face as their relief pitcher. So Roy Face will be the new pitcher for the Pirates in the 8th inning, but they're going to use Howie Goss. I don't know anything about him, but Howie Goss will pinch hit in the 7th for the pitcher Friend. So we can close the book on Friend. He goes 7 innings, strikes out 7, gives up the 2 earned runs, and he gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, 7 hits. And let's see, how many did he? He didn't walk that many. He walked 1 here, 1 here. That's 2. I've only got him for 2. Let's see, 3 walks. You get walk 3. Okay. So that's the line on Friends. 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 2 earned runs allowed. And the new pitcher will be Face in the 8th inning. Face is a -6 hold, so that's going to make a -5. So Howie Goss, and he hit .243 with 2 home runs, real world, and 111 at bats. And that's who's coming up for the Pirates with 2 outs and a runner at first. Short 1-6 to the lefty, struck him out. So Short comes in and strikes out the pinch hitter Goss to end the inning. That's going to be it for Chris Short. He was just there for 1 inning. So he goes 1 inning, and he gives up 2 walks and a strikeout, no runs or hits. But they're going to pinch hit for Short. He's coming up 3rd this inning, so they will pinch hit for Short. And coming in to pitch for the Pirates will be Roy Face. In 62 is 8-7 with a 1.88 ERA and 28 saves. So Roy Face is in, and Face will be facing Dalrymple, Amaro, and a pinch hitter for the Phillies. And as we look at the Philly bench, at some of the guys they used as a pinch hitter, the lefty they used, Billy Kloss. So Billy Kloss will do the pinch hitting for the Phillies in this inning. So Clay Dalrymple is your batter. 3-7, and all these hits in column 3, and he found the fly to center. 1 away. Brings up Ruben Amaro. 4-6, right-handed. That's trouble for Face. 1-11 is a double. 12-20 is a single. That's a 10. It'll be a double for Amaro. And now the pinch hitter coming on is going to be Kloss. So he's aboard to pinch hit. Billy Kloss, left-handed hitter, is in to pinch hit against Roy Face. Face trying to keep the score at 2-1. 6-5, left-handed, pops it up to second base. That's 2 down. So Kloss is retired for Tony Taylor. Clutch situation for Taylor. He loses a hit on 1-3. Six-4 is a fly ball center field X. That's Verdon. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. But he's an E9, so we're checking E9 center fielder. And center fielder E9, he has to avoid 3, 4, 14, 17, and 18. 3, 4, 14, 17, and 18. And he does. So it's a good play for Verdon to end the inning for the Phillies. Roy Face does his job. He'll be back for the 9th. And now the Phillies will have to bring in a new pitcher. Coming up for the Pirates, Verdon, Grote, and Skinner. And for the Phillies, if I go with who they used in real world, which I may not do because it may not work as well, we're going to go with, and I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, Ferraris. I don't know. I've never heard of the guy. So you can let me know how you pronounce that. But that's who he is. He's a left-hander. He was 1-5 with a 3.27 ERA and 1 save. So he will get the call to come in for the Phillies. Ferraris, I have no idea. He's a -3 hold. I do know that. And so it's a -4 on the pitcher-catcher quotient. And he'll be facing top of the order, Bill Verdon. Verdon, Grote, and Skinner, two out of 3 are left-handed. So that's why they're going with the lefty. That's a 6-12, and that's ground ball pitcher X, just so we need another X chance. He's a 2E0, so we know he cannot make an error. He's a 2, and that is a 14, so we know he's going to get to that with that high number. So it's a ground out back to the pitcher for Verdon. 1 away for Dick Grote. 1-9, left-handed, ground balls to short. Handled by Amaro, 2 down. And now it's up to Bob Skinner. Skinner only faced lefties 19% of the time, but he does have some pop against him. So we'll see what he can do. Lefty on lefty against Ferraris, or however you pronounce his name. 2-6, and that's going to be a single for Skinner. 2-out single. He can get the lead with a 7, but if he does get the lead, it would be a -4. And so I don't know if you want to try that or not. That would make that a 1-10, a 1-10 basically, 50-50 shot. Boy, they're going to try to lead anyway. Needs a 7. Doubt he gets it, but we'll try it anyway. No, he doesn't get it. All right, so here's Dick Stewart, the right-hander. We get a 2-5, and that's a 1-4 triple. 5-20 is a double. That's a triple for Dick Stewart, and we have a tie ball game, 2 apiece. The triple from Dick Stewart. Dick Stewart had 4 triples in 62. He gets one right there. And now Roberto Clemente, the batter. Could walk Clemente with the lefty Burgess on deck, and I think that's what they're going to do. I think that would be a prudent move. So they walk Clemente. Burgess is your batter. Clemente could get a steal. He stole 6 bases, caught 4 times, but again, that -4 over there is really kind of putting the kibosh on that. So 2-2 ball game. Lefty on lefty matchup. Ferraris against Burgess. I know I'm butchering his name, but I got to call him something. 6-8, and that's a 1-2 single. Double dies a 7 this time, so he lines to second. But we got a tie game as we go into the 9th inning. 9th inning we go. Roy Face for his 2nd inning of work. And Ferraris, we'll see if he stays in the game or not. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Coming up for the Phillies in the 9th, it'll be Callison, Gonzalez, and Severs. Heart of the order for the Phillies. Facing Roy Face. We're now 2-2 ball game. St. Louis beat Minnesota. Okay, thank you, Captain. Cool. 62, of course, was the Yankees and the Giants real world. Here's Roy Face, 5'6", left-handed, ground ball to first. And Dr. Strangeglove will take it himself. One away. Tony Gonzalez, 4-7. And that's a 1-5 single. That's a 14. He will line to second. So, Captain, do you have any idea how to pronounce this guy's name? I was calling him Ferraris, but that's probably wrong. So, I don't know. I'm going to call him Ferraris because I have no other description of him. Here's Severs. 2-8 for Severs. Struck him out. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Chance for the Pirates to win it in the bottom of the ninth. And they will be sending up. They'll pinch it for Face. Face is done. Face goes 2 innings, and he's going to give up 1 hit, no runs, and he get no walks and a strikeout. So Ferraris is back out, and he will pitch to Hoke, Mazeroski, and a pinch hitter for the Pirates. So Don Hoke will lead things off here in the bottom of the ninth. 2-2 ball game. 5-10, and that's a ballpark single check. It's a 1-10. That's a 1. The double die comes up as a 1, so Hoke will single, and that will set up a bunt situation for Mazeroski. He's only a C bunter, but that's still the prudent play, is to bunt. So the corners are going to come in, makes him a D bunter. So we're going to try to bunt with a D bunter and see how it goes. Still could be successful. You never know. The bunt is going to be going to the pitcher, Ferraris. But now as a D bunter, he really needs a 7 or less. And he gets a 7. Round the number, sacrifice. Good sacrifice by Bill Mazeroski. He gets the bunt down. And that's going to move Hoke to second base, the possible winning run. He runs at a 14, does Hoke, so not bad. Not a bad chance to score on a base hit. Now we go to the bench for the Pirates, and we'll see who they might want to bring out. They got Leopard. They got Clendenin. I'm leaning towards Don Clendenin. But first base is open, so no matter who you bring in, they're going to walk him. So we're going to officially bring in Clendenin to pinch hit, but they're going to walk him intentionally. First base is open and go after the left-hander Verdon. So it's almost like a mere formality. So Clendenin pinch hit in the ninth, but he is intentionally walked as his run doesn't mean anything. And now we're back to Bill Verdon. First and second, 1 out. Verdon is 1 for 4. 3-7, and it's a 1-3 single. That's a 6, so he's going to line it to second. 2 down, it's up to Dick Grote in the clutch situation. And he gains a hit on 1-7 and 1-11. He gains 2 hits. That column 1 now becomes very juicy with those clutch base hits. Ferraris to Grote. That's a 3-8, and that's gone. 1-5 home run, 6-20. The double die is a 2. It is a walk-off 3-run home run from Dick Grote to end the ball game. A walk-off 3-run home run, and it had a righty come in. Dick Grote would have done the same thing. 3-8 would have been a 1-2 home run. The double die would have been there, so it didn't matter who. If I'd have brought a right-hander in or not, it would not have mattered. Dick Grote, 3-run home run, walks it off for the Pirates here in the bottom of the ninth. Pirates win it by the score of 5-2. So despite making 3 errors in the game, they win it. I don't think the Phillies made any errors, but that didn't matter. So Ferraris is going to go an inning and a third, and he's going to give up 4 runs. He will obviously take the loss. Gave up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Walking 2, but both those walks were intentional. And he did not strike anybody out. So Face the winner, Ferraris the loser. For the Phillies, 2 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. For the Pirates, 5 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors. Jeff, I'm going to be coming back at noon because Uncle Ron is going to be off today, so I won't be interfering with him. So I'm going to do the 1987 Yankees and Oakland A's. Played another game in the 1987 replay. Tommy John will be on the mound for the Yankees. It'll be the 87 Yankees against the A's at high noon Eastern. After take a little break, grab some breakfast. I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm going to have I'll basically be brunch by this point. Then I'll come back and do the A's and the Yankees from the 1987 replay. That'll be at high noon, assuming that YouTube cooperates with me. You might end up getting 4 notifications as I keep trying, but I will go in and change the title of this once this is finished, so don't worry about that. I'll take that not so nice message off the title screen and put something more appropriate on there. But yeah, walk-off 3-run home run from Dick Groat wins it by the score of 5-2. So if he's watching this later, hello, Paul. I didn't see you in there. I'm sorry. I missed you. I'm sorry about that. I just caught your name up there. So if Roger watches this later, hopefully you're happy, sir. 3-run home run from the Pirates. Dick Groat wins it in the bottom of the 9th. So they get a run in the 8th and run in the 9th. So the guy who's upset probably is Owen because he pitched well, but he walks away with a no decision. Bob Friend got let off the hook, and Roy Face gets the win. Hello, is that Amazing Spider, like the Spider-Man? There you go. Cool. Amazing Spider-Man. That's Marvel Comics, right? I get confused between DC and Marvel. Is Spider-Man DC or Spider-Man Marvel? Or are they one and the same? I'm not in that genre, so I don't know. I just know those two names, DC and Marvel, but I don't know which one is which. Marvel, okay. Thank you. All right, so this game turned out marvelously. Remember Billy Crystal used to do he had he put on his persona and he would say, "You look marvelous," but I don't know who that was. I just remember him doing it. He had this gray wig he put on, and this is probably back in the 80s, I imagine, where you go and say, "You look marvelous." I don't know what the character is. I'd have to Google it and figure it out who the character was. But I remember that was the catchphrase was, "You look marvelous." Billy Crystal, very funny man, by the way. And a big baseball fan, especially a Yankee fan. Remember he did that movie 61 about the Yankees. Very good movie, by the way. Took some liberties with it, but that's okay. It's a movie. It's not a documentary. It's a movie. So I don't mind if they take a few liberties here and there. The only one I didn't like with the liberties was, or not fact checking or whatever the case was Field of Dreams. When you have Shoeless Joe Jackson batting the wrong way and throwing the wrong way. Fernando, thank you, Chuck. Yeah. I mean, how do you mess it up? How do you make Joe Jackson a right-handed hitter and a left-handed thrower when he was exactly the opposite? Oh, Fernando Lamas. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Like I said, I knew it from my earlier part in life. I remember that character, but I didn't know the genesis of it or whatever. But anyway, so back to this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this 1962 ball game. It was a lot of fun for me. I'm not used to using the old Form B score sheet. It does give me a little crimped in, there's a little crimpy of room. If I needed more pictures, I would have to write them somewhere else. I like my adjusted sheet better, but I figured if I'm going to go old school, get out the old school dice with the dots on them instead of the numbers and bring out the Form B. Fressy, is that how it's pronounced? Fressy, no? Fressy? Where is this name here? So you're saying it was pronounced Don Yeah, I'll have to go see if I can find the old thing on him or whatever. I doubt I'll get to play him very often because I probably won't do many Phillies games in 1962, but it was an experience trying him anyway. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and adjust. First thing I'll do when I finish this is change the title so it's back to something more respectable. And not that I'm professional, but something more professional, to use a lack of a better term. That's a bad term because I'm not a professional, but something a little bit more respectable, I think, is a better term. And then after that, I'll be back at 12 o'clock noon for the 1987 New York Yankees and the Oakland A's from Oakland. Kurt Young, a left-hander, against Tommy John, a left-hander. That'll be the matchup in the 1987 American League replay, which we're at May 19th now. So until next time, I hope you all, well, next time, hopefully for some of you, will be in about a little over an hour, hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes, whatever it is. But for the rest of you, if you can't make it at noon, hope you all have a great Wednesday wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.